here in Broadview, Illinois.
This is Colonel Owen, the Illinois State Police. This is unlawful assembly in violation of Illinois law. What law? You are required to leave. If you do not leave the area within the next 30 seconds, you will be subject to arrest. You may be subject to chemical agents, paid compliance techniques, or other reasonable force to effect your arrest. Leave now.
What law are you talking about? Colonel Owen, you're not explaining yourself.
Police reshifting their line here. Looks like trying to create more of an even distribution of officers, or troopers rather, they're state police, across the street. Oh, now we see police working their way around, creating somewhat of a perimeter out here. Yep, they're making a perimeter. Don't see them moving around to block this side street at all. It might be that they're attempting to swing this group of protesters down the side street. Unclear exactly what their next move is going to be. Protesters backing way off now just to be sure that they are well clear, because there's that sense of unease in the air. These protesters didn't want to be here protesting the Illinois State Police. They wanted to be much closer to the ICE facility, and they wanted to be protesting the federal government. This interaction with state police was baited by a Department of Homeland Security vehicle and antagonized the protesters and brought some protesters into the street. Police then came out in all of this riot gear, and protesters then started to stand their ground. You see police now advancing towards the sidewalk as they seek to continue to create this perimeter. Yeah, they are moving folks into the street here. And police saying, move back, move back. And then stopping right at the edge of the street. Many of these protesters are now being funneled down this side street here, just off of 25th. Being pushed towards Fillmore Street. It is now past the 6 p.m. protest curfew, but this interaction began well before that, at least 20 minutes before that, which is what led to the protesters repeatedly chanting 6 p.m., 6 p.m., because they thought they had the right to be out here until that time. Something that has frustrated these protesters and is tough. Something that has frustrated these protesters again and again is how police have seemingly acted to clear these roadways so that ICE vehicles can continue to pass. That's what they want to be out here protesting, is ICE's operations, engaging in some civil disobedience against ICE. at the most blocking Harvard Street, which only accesses the ICE facility and has some side entrances to some businesses. But Governor Pritzker has said that the presence of the state police was to protect protesters. And yet out here, what we see the state police doing is calling an end to the protests early, ahead of what the village of Broadview had established as the clear end time of 6 p.m. and threatening to use chemical agents or other techniques to effect arrests out here. And these protesters have again said, many of them have said again and again, that they want to see better leadership from Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat. They say they want to see him out here protesting alongside them. That a lot of his actions, aside from a recent lawsuit, which they were complimentary of, that many of his actions have not gone far enough, that a lot of it is just talking for the sake of talk. I think it's safe to assume that these protesters don't feel very protected by these police right now. Your protesters there playing classic Western standoff music, trying to bring some levity to this moment. Something we've seen from protests not only here but across the country.
See the guy with the camera?
Oh, there in the back? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, there's a gentleman back there with a camera videotaping the standoff here. Get a sense, John, for who he's with or what exactly he's doing?
Probably with him.
Yeah. Thinking that he's with law enforcement. Sheriff's Department, John says, perhaps. We've seen police actually out here, the state police. In fact, you see it there. John, if you want to focus on that cell phone that's standing up in the air on that pole. This is that, just to illustrate, police have been out here with their own cameras, videotaping everything that's happening. You also see body cameras on these police. So also recording everything that is happening out here. And we've seen, of course, ICE recording in a different context. They've been recording to produce propaganda out of their mission here as they brutalize protesters. This is the intersection of 25th and Fillmore in Broadview, Illinois. Now well down the street from the ICE facility. These protesters wanted to be allowed to continue to protest until 6 p.m. It's now past 6 p.m., but ahead of that 6 p.m. deadline, police had forced protesters out of the designated protest areas in a move that confused a lot of the protesters out here. They thought they would be allowed to continue to protest. Police came out because protesters were in the street. Why were protesters in the street? They were responding to a vehicle that had antagonized them, a vehicle that seems like was being operated by somebody from the Department of Homeland Security. So the Department of Homeland Security antagonizes, protesters respond, police jump in and institute force against the protesters, which is why these protesters feel that this law enforcement presence, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, that despite Governor J.B. Pritzker saying is here to protect these protesters, feeling that these law enforcement are actually in effect working for and supporting ICE agents.
Well, calm down if you simply stop exacerbating this. If you step back and stand down, we would appreciate it.
Heard one gentleman there on the bullhorn saying that they feel that police are exacerbating the situation. That man earning applause from the crowd. He had said that if police would simply relax their posture, that it would actually help calm the protesters. What we've seen here, you can kind of see, is that the protesters have formed, or excuse me, the police rather, have formed an L shape out here on 25th Street, wrapping around onto the side of the street, creating, we thought, a perimeter at first. It's not clear exactly what their intention is. They've been saying, you have to clear the street, you have to clear the street, you have to clear the street, and yet, so far, no move from police to clear the street other than continuing to push the protesters down 25th Street. John, if you pan the camera over to the right, you'll see that some of the protesters are relaxing here and making levity of the situation. They're dancing here at the intersection of Fillmore and 25th as they, dancing to some lighthearted music. Dancing to Sweet Caroline. Pointing towards police during the bop, bop, bop portion of the song, hoping that police would join in. I did not hear any singing from the police. It's possible that it was too quiet for me to hear, but I kind of doubt it.
Come on, troopers, you know you want to dance with us. Let's make this peaceful.
Protesters inviting police to dance with them. So far, police not doing so. I just note, I don't see any mainstream media cameras out here. There's local press. We were standing next to some reporters from the Chicago Sun-Times. But as far as CNNs of the world, ABC News, NBC News, CBS, I don't see them out here. Right now it's status quo and dancing protesters as they face down dozens of Illinois State Police in riot gear. So if you're watching this stream, please share it so that people can see what it's actually like, how these protesters are actually acting out here. Behaving peacefully, dancing. And if you can support us, statusquo.com/join. That's what allows us to be here on these front lines, actually showing you what it's like here on the ground. $5 a month, statusquo.com/join is what supports our work. Eternally grateful for any support that you can offer us right now. And I think getting lost right now in all of this, what's happening out here is what's happening several blocks away. That just because it's not on screen right now, it's not on your camera, you can't see it because it's happening behind a fence, down a street, around a corner, down several blocks now, and behind this line of police. What's happening inside that ICE detention facility and processing facility is that people are being held there right now. Right now, Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, has repeatedly condemned the Trump administration for its tactics here in the Chicagoland area and across Illinois, going as far as filing a lawsuit to make sure the National Guard couldn't be deployed here, yet putting Illinois State Police out here to defend that state violence that he is decrying on the one hand, and then defending it with his own officers on the other. It's absurd. I suspect that that's part of the reason that the protesters out here are playing music, dancing. They understand, they see the absurdity of this moment, and they want corresponding action from their leaders. If you're going to say one thing, do it. Back up your actions, or back up your words, rather, with action. Don't be threatening the people who are here backing the same words that you are putting out there. They're here to back that up with action, putting their bodies on the line to protest, to try and disrupt ICE operations in some way. They're saying, Governor, come stand with us. That's what we've heard repeatedly from these protesters. Instead, the state of Illinois has sent troopers out here in riot gear to move these people back to the village out here, has decried ICE's presence, has decried what ICE is doing, has filed a lawsuit against ICE over an illegal fence that was put up on Beach Street because they felt that it was detrimental to public safety. But then the village goes and creates free speech zones, as the protesters have taken to calling them, implying that free speech is not allowed in other areas, saying you can only protest here, you can't protest there. Limiting folks to certain areas well away from the ICE facility, where they can't have a real impact on the operations out there, where they can't get as close to the agents to have their voices heard in the way that they want. They move people back behind concrete barricades. And then on top of that, only allowed them to protest during certain hours, between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. The protesters out here knew that they had until 6 p.m., and yet after ICE antagonizes them, the state police rush in to clear these protesters out well ahead of that 6 p.m. deadline, confusing the protesters. They're saying to the police, we had until 6 p.m. They're chanting it over and over again. 6 p.m., 6 p.m. We've seen a man on a bullhorn out here saying, this is confusing. You're confusing us.
Doesn't strike me.
Are we allowed to protest until 6 p.m. or is the time different? We thought we were out here until 6.
The name of the YouTube channel, Status Scoop. If you can go over and give them a like, maybe a share, comment.
Earlier today, we heard from kids in the Cicero neighborhood, kids 15 years old, 16 years old. We heard from them talk about how it's a largely Hispanic community. They said that they felt dehumanized by this administration, and then they went further. Say they treat us like animals. And then they went further than that, and they say they treat us like monsters. They said we don't feel like we get to have a childhood in this country because of where we were born and the color of our skin, being profiled, being afraid that when they go off to school,
what about that
in the morning, they're not going to see their parents that evening because either they or their parents are going to be profiled by ICE and disappeared into an immigration system that operates concentration camps in places like Alligator, Alcatraz, that we have extensively covered.
Yeah, that's weird.
And they are taking to the streets themselves, much like these protesters are, protesting an authoritarian regime that they see in this country, standing up saying, I want to do anything in my power to ensure that the future is brighter for myself, for the next generation coming. But when time actually comes for something to matter here, for their elected leaders to stand up, back them with action, they're not here. In fact, they send in the state police to clear them off because they're an inconvenience to traffic. And the only reason they're an inconvenience to traffic in the first place is because those very same ICE agents, Department of Homeland Security officials that they were here to protest in the first place, came out and directly antagonized them because, presumably because they were protesting too peacefully before that. It wasn't convenient for their narrative that they've been trying to spin with the cameras that ICE agents have had out here, following them in their operations as they raid apartment buildings in the middle of the night, zip-tie children, leave them sitting outside in the dark for hours.
Amen, brother.
I have a 7-week-old daughter. This is the country that she was born into. One where the right to protest is limited between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., except if we don't feel like it, then we'll use the police to move you off our corners whenever we damn well please. You have the right to protest so long as it doesn't inconvenience us or doesn't make us feel uncomfortable.
I was just seeing on another
Something that
YouTube
John and I have been
channel,
talking
there's
about a
some
lot in the
stuff
car.
that's
He has a
breaking
daughter as
out.
well.
Maybe
It hurts us to be here,
maybe he's just
away from our
behind.
families for weeks and
Or
weeks.
maybe I'm behind.
All I want to do is go back to them.
No?
The thing we have to keep telling ourselves is that this work is too important. Being able to show you what's actually happening out here in Broadview. It's too important because we want our daughters to grow up in a better world. And part of that has to be telling the truth about what's happening, which is that the Illinois State Police are right now, in effect, supporting ICE operations, giving ICE exactly what they want, which is making these protesters seem like the enemy, making Americans turn on Americans, to make it easier for them to forcefully separate people from their families, disappear them, all to score political points. If you've been watching us, I'm JT Siskowski with Status Coup. Thank you for being with us. Share this stream so that people can get the truth about what's happening out here. There's not a lot of mainstream press out here. To the extent that they are, they're local. Trying to do some of the work, but in terms of national outlets with national reach, it's Status Coup. Might be a couple of other independent media here. I haven't done a complete census. But there's not a lot of national outlets getting the truth out about what happens here. We know when they're here. They line up with all of their big fancy TV cameras that they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. Their talent comes out, does a live shot down the block from the facility for a few minutes. We'll talk to Democratic state senators who were out here yesterday. Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin for the state of Illinois were out here. Did a photo op where they delivered some water, one case each. I'm sure that's all they could afford, U.S. senators. Delivered one case of water each to the protesters out here to their aid station. And then held a press conference about how they're not being allowed into the ICE facility. And Dick Durbin in that press conference made the point that this money shouldn't be going towards ICE. It should be going towards the local police. Police like the Illinois State Police right here, who are, in effect, helping ICE with their job. Like that's the other side to what Donald Trump is offering, the brutalization, tearing apart families. Dick Durbin saying, well, you know, that money should really be going towards local authorities instead of national authorities.
Yeah, Status Coup.
Feels like splitting
Go
hairs.
over and give him a follow or subscribe. Subscribe to me too. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'm going to try and get some interviews for you folks.
This is crazy. I never thought I would see something like this. Wow, just wild. Just wild. I wouldn't want to be out there just to be out there. Nope. Nope. If I was these people, I would take my butt home and sit in front of my TV and watch this. Because, man, you never know when something's going to break out.
Yeah, let me download it, upload it.
You know, they think by getting the immigrants out of America, they're going to save money on health care and all this other stuff. But how much is this costing Americans to have all these ICE and cops and FBI, whoever, all out there every day, all day long? Where's I guess I'm not getting it.
Yeah, John, I don't want you to move the camera over there, but I will note that basically across the street, kitty corner from where these police are currently arrayed, there's a park, and there's a playground set on that park, and right now there are two kids out playing on that jungle gym set that's out there. John and I have remarked ahead of these live streams, we walk through a residential neighborhood in order to get to the ICE processing facility and the protests there. John and I have repeatedly talked about the kids that we see out in their yard playing, that they could be, essentially exposed to the tear gas that might be unleashed here, that has been unleashed from the ICE officers, and the violence, and just playing. Like they are out here playing right now, seeing state violence, state-sponsored violence on protesters, just as a normal fact of growing up. It's not exactly clear what the next step is here. A lot of these protesters are content to stand here, watch what will happen next. They're agitated by the police presence. The police seem content to continue to stand here and have this stare off with the protesters.
Well, at least they got some good music to listen to. I'm all about the music.
If you're at all able to hear the sound of the helicopter above us, we're pretty sure that is a news helicopter. We've seen it out at several different scenes, regardless of jurisdiction. It's a local news helicopter. When police need an aerial view, we've seen them put up a drone. They have a phone on a long telescoping pole that they will raise up to get an eye view. They also have some stationary cameras that are up on poles that they've erected around the facility to keep an eye on protesters. Protesters now playing the national anthem. Okay, so I'm standing here with Jolly. Jolly, I'm imagining that most of our audience knows who you are, but just in case there are we've probably got some new viewers here tonight with all the craziness that we've seen. Just start by saying who you are, explaining what you do.
I'm Jolly Good Ginger on all social media platforms. I try to stand in solidarity with communities, speak out about injustice in our communities, as well as, fight fascism in our politics. I'm an Iraq, Afghanistan veteran. And currently I'm trying to mobilize veterans across the country to do this, to stand with communities.
Why is it important to mobilize veterans? what does the weight that their voice carries that you see that as a very important element to have here standing with communities?
Sure. I think that society has ascribed a certain, title or pocket for veterans. And so when veterans speak, I think people in these situations listen to what we have to say because we've worn the uniform. Now, I've never been a cop, but I've been in uniform service. We talk about the National Guard. I've been in the Army. And so I think people feel empowered when veterans stand up and say, this isn't right, Because so often we feel like the system is against us. So often we feel like this president specifically is going to turn the military against us. So when people see veterans say, no, I don't agree with this. This is fascism. This is a wannabe dictator. It gives them the confidence that there's other people currently actively serving that would also not follow those orders to turn themselves against the American people. And I hope that here in the Illinois State Police and the Cook County Sheriff's Office, that there are people who would recognize that they're on the wrong side of this conversation. I know you think that you're fighting for truth, justice, and the American way, but you're defending a facility where they're bringing people that are straight up being kidnapped off the street. If you want to have a conversation of legality in our country, let's have that conversation. If you want to have a conversation how to address people based on their legal status, let's have that conversation. That conversation should never begin or end with people being kidnapped, with mothers being taken out of school pickup lines, with fathers and mothers being taken out of workplaces, with people being taken out of courthouses. That's not addressing legality. That's just intimidation and fear and breaking apart a community. And community is the strongest thing we have as a country.
I just want to note for folks that Illinois State Police are again on their bullhorn telling folks to get out of the roadway. See if they're going to do anything here. They're preparing to open the street. Yes, okay, I see.
Well, if they stop threatening us finally.
Yeah. Police there asking folks to move onto the sidewalks as they are about to open this roadway. This is 25th. It's a heavily trafficked road here through the community of Broadview. And yeah, we've been kind of in this odd standoff here for the last little while, wondering what was going to happen next. Finally, police coming on and saying we're preparing to open this roadway. Looks like we're going to see some movement finally here. And it looks like, many police now, riot police, walking off to the side. You see cop cars just beyond them with the lights on, continuing to keep the street blocked somewhat, but presumably about to move those as well so that vehicles can get through.
What do you guys think?
I heard they're
Leave your comment down below and tell me what y'all think about
You
this.
see Illinois State Police there on the
They
now
need to
move.
stop.
Appreciate it. We see Illinois State Police
you
now,
think that-
making their way onto the sidewalks just along with all the
They need to
protesters.
come to some type
And
of
I'll note
conclusion about
here
this. I mean,
so
this is
far,
every
I
day.
want to take a look back at towards the intersection here. But a lot of the protesters have made their way onto the sidewalks
I guess
as
I don't
well
know who
as
Jolly
the police have
Ginger
relaxed
is.
their posture. So have a lot of the protesters. There's a few that remain in the streets. Some of them are. It's hard to tell exactly
explain more on that?
as it gets darker. Protesters clapping as the police walk away. So showing their approval, saying, this is what we wanted. We just wanted you to relax. We relax. It's hard to tell exactly in the dark here who's a legal observer, who's press, who's protester yet. But some remaining there back in the street. See the K9 unit there in the back of that car barking. We heard it barking into the megaphone earlier, perhaps a different K9 unit, but we heard one K9 unit barking into the microphone, into the PA system that they were using. Yeah, and over here you just see the last few people remaining in the streets. Vast majority of the protesters have made their way off to the side. few last cheers from the protesters.
You'll never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never
He said everyone was going to be arrested.
See a small clump of protesters there in the street. Many now walking back down 25th Street along the sidewalks, back likely towards where they've left their vehicles or other ways to get home.
Well, they for real opened the whole damn
Got it.
road. I'll be right back. I gotta use the...
It's going to take a while for police to open up this road because they've parked so many vehicles on it. It's something that the protesters have repeatedly pointed out, that when they're moved out of the street, police repeatedly say, you need to get out of the street because we need to open it. But then after they move the protesters out, the police have blocked the street and the traffic remains restricted. So some protesters have said, kind of tongue in cheek, you cannot block the street because we need to block the street. Protesters.
Things change. It's good.
God, I'm glad this ain't going on in Amy's city, because that would definitely scare me. I know ICE went through there, but... And... Oh. I guess he's done. Okay, well, let's is he done or I guess he must have said while I was in the restroom. Oh, what a day. Okay. Let's try this. Oh, I didn't mean to take this.
They need a snack break.
So we're back outside in front of the ICE facility now. We're like down the road at least. We'll see what happens here because there's a crowd reforming. Small crowd, but a crowd nonetheless. Doesn't seem the state or local police are interested in enforcing, any type of a no protest or people still standing out here. We'll see what happens. They did grab people, and it looks like they're taking down the barriers too. Are those the barriers being taken down? Are they? It looks like it.
Looks like they're moving one of them.
They're moving them for sure.
Yeah. I know the fence has to come down by Tuesday.
Your freedom zone. Okay. It looks like they're removing the barriers around the protest area. I don't know. Man, the street's going to be open. This is interesting. I mean, it really was kind of like the people of the area and the state police and the local police, and whether or not they had the residents back, like against the federal government here. That really was what was the energy behind everything that's transpired. Well, because I mean, we pay federal taxes, sure, whatever, but you pay local and state taxes too, and people are relying on their local police to not allow the federal government to come in to their neighborhoods and ravage them like the ICE did the other night.
That's true.
And continue to do. So I don't know if the so-called is that the free speech zone getting dismantled? Because there really has not been that good of a relationship out here between the federal government and the state government. They denied entry to the religious delegation today. If anything, the protest has been very cooperative with the state and local police. That's what I've noticed. Number one, they've been very cooperative with the state and local police. You do have protesters in general that are protesting just the police, of course, but the energy is because of the federal government that's down the street in the ICE building.
I'm on Hubbard and 25th, literally the very corner.
So this could be because they set up barriers to keep people in an area, and they've done a lot to really stifle free speech out here. But to all of that extent, though, I mean, the protest has worked with the local police, and the local police has been out here getting gassed with the feds, and it doesn't really seem like the best relationship. They've tried. I don't know if Chicago's really a place where, they're going to want the federal government to come in and police their community.
Hey, I'm on 25th and Harbor, right in front of where the exit is.
And it does appear as if these barriers are being taken down. We'll see, though. But
yeah, she said that they said 10 minutes.
Yeah.
My brother.
A lot of things have happened in this stream.
Sorry, I'm mute.
Well done.
I just want to appreciate my chat, everybody, for tuning in to Mercado Media, just overall. You guys are awesome supporting independent media. We're all independent media out here. Most of the journalists consistently out here are independent, so I appreciate you guys. So trying to figure out what they're doing with the barrier here, if it's being removed or just being moved, or what really is transpiring with the area that is designated for the protest, at least down the road.
Oh, thanks.
So I wonder what they're doing there. Yeah.
You do shit.
No, we'll do shit. Oh, yeah.
My mom, my last
So we're watching. So a lot just to catch you guys up. I mean, pulled up, protest was going normally. A crowd formed around a couple MAGA content creators, and a lot of attention was given to them. And then there was a group that was out in the road. I couldn't quite find out why they had left the area to begin with, but there was a couple groups that went back into the neighborhood. And so there was some pandemonium in terms of like the protest like left this area you're looking at. And then the police decided it was an unlawful assembly, and then the Illinois State Police formed up with about half riot gear on, I could say. I mean, their clubs and their helmet and their visor, but no vest or anything like that. And then they started advancing down the road after declaring an unlawful assembly, made multiple arrests. It got pretty hectic. Is anyone still there? Yeah, there's a whole crowd here. So. There's a crowd out here, so it's not nearly as big as like what we were looking at earlier. But.
But she ran her vehicle with an ice vehicle. The vehicle could be a deadly weapon. You see the man. Also, it could be a deadly weapon. I think I would park the you've been there Oh, that truck. Yes. No, whoever that was should have been in trouble. I've seen that video. I've seen the video footage. The video footage, it shows like it's kind of guys on the hood.
Okay, it looks like they're just resetting it.
But as far as I'm aware, they haven't been able to verify that was an ICE officer.
So specifically, yeah, there were 2 guys there masked up. And that was it. When the police came out,
I don't know what that was. They're just like fixing it or what?
But I don't think they've been able to verify that he's an ICE agent.
he is. They literally broke him here 15 minutes after the guy rolled down the window. And he was just standing there. He was like, and I turned and he takes his upside. He didn't say it. I know.
Changing the appearance inside.
Take a drink.
Be another long day tomorrow. We'll be out here at the ICE detention facility tomorrow, chat. So make sure you subscribe and notification bell on.
I wonder what's going to go on tomorrow.
Hey, what did?
It's too bad that it's got to be this way, you know?
What did you see? Why was everybody running?
Well, it was just me and Terry.
No, there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people running.
That way, and then we went that way because I was going to go around.
Okay, what was it that you were looking at?
Ice.
Oh, ICE was back there. Okay.
Because I mean, they've been fully through.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the road's closed for them too.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to get to their.
Yeah.
I wonder what'll happen tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, I was looking at bringing in this whole thing just to demolish the building.
You know, like, it doesn't have to
Any
be
trouble
this
tonight?
way. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to talk politics because it's not appropriate. It sounds like he's been doing this for a while.
Also, let me get a W in the chat for the mods. Mod Nikki for clips. So that's the ICE facility right down the street, chat. So it's like right down the road. Yeah, a few layers of state and local police preventing the protests from going down to the fence.
I don't know.
It's like Mr. Slam from Twisted Metal.
And it's getting cold. It's getting cold out there now. Yes, it is. I got my air conditioner. God, it's so cold.
Try not to like let them know.
It just doesn't have to be this way, you know? doesn't. And it's so sad that things have come to this. So unfortunate.
What up, buddy?
Well, I just got here today. I had work. Yeah, no, I got here.
It's so unfortunate.
I know, like the one time I'm like, damn.
You have the right
Can't even go to work. Can't even cut some hair, you know? No, yesterday they were the state police was trying to like, get them to take down the tech, and I was like, yeah, and they said they were trying to say that only 3 people were allowed to get tech. You guys are being surrounded. Wait till I get back. And then they were all professionals and we're all I will talk to you. So obviously they come back and they're like, we agree with them. And then where is that specific project? And they were just like yapping away. So I'm like, okay, cool.
So I wonder if they give up and this is alone.
They told them what I told them. It's like, they're allowed to be here. And it's all those things where it's like, you should know what laws they're working with. It's ridiculous. And I was like, I'm scared. They're surrounded. I know. Like, we're in the wrong. Know these things.
Trump is They're also going on in Portland too. So I think they gave everybody a time for 6 p.m. I'm not sure the time during the day. Maybe 8 to 6. They can protest, but then after that they have to shut it down. And I think that's the problem tonight is that they didn't want to.
Good,
I want to give credit to Mercado Media and Status for allowing me to stream there while they're there. Pretty brave.
You said Nick Shirley was extracted via that vehicle.
Sure
Makes sense. He's probably in that ICE vehicle that the crowd found.
There's some kids coming through.
Subscribe to me too. Subscribe, like, and share the content.
Yeah, there's no more MAGA.
This is usually my bedtime.
Cam and them are out of here.
They're leaving. But they figured the protesters weren't going to start any problems.
Well, they fixed the barrier and it's been fixed, I guess. Now what? Watching on the east coast of Massachusetts. Hello. So there's crowds. So there's still a crowd here. There's a small crowd, but it's still a crowd. The road's open again, or it's opening. It's not quite fully open yet.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
They had to fix a barrier, and then now the police are about to open the street back up.
I said that guy's YouTube name right. If not, I apologize. But I think it's
The ICE facilities are right there. If you guys are wondering.
But you said you were happy about
Time to eat. Let me sign out.
Mercado Media. So shout
Yeah.
out to him. And Status Scoop.
Hey, Brennan.
but if they
Someone actually said we're busy.
I know,
Yeah. How you doing? Doing good, buddy. Doing good. I'll sign out so we can get going. All right, chat. Well, we're gonna go and eat now. Me and a couple of the other streamers are gonna go out and go get some food. So if you guys could hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys haven't. I'll be back live out tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go hang out with Status Group and BG and a couple others. Yep. Hopefully John picks a pizza place. So John from Status Group's picking the spot. I'll probably have a later member stream. Not right now though, but probably later. So my members of my channel, make sure you join my Discord server. Link is in the description, so that way you guys get notified. But also, we'll be live tomorrow morning. Morning protests here in Chicago. So more of that's coming early morning again. So again, notification bell on. Make sure it's set to all. If you're on Twitch, thank you for all the follows. If you're on Facebook, same thing. Thank you for the follows. If you're on X, thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. But we multi-stream every time. Live on X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everybody that became a member. Thank you to my mods. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I did put their links in the description too, so that way they know that I've supported them. I've shouted them out. All right, well, I guess that's it for tonight. If anything else happens to break overnight, I will definitely go live if I hear it. Sometimes I don't hear it. But anyways, don't forget to follow Mercado and Status Coop. Their links are in the description. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And y'all have a good night. Leave a comment in their comment box telling them how good of a job that they're doing out there. If it wasn't for them bringing the news, we wouldn't be able to see. All right, y'all have a good night, okay? All right. I'm out. Y'all have a wonderful weekend and please be safe.